Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, I'm going to talk about the idea of translation, and later on we will see how we can sketch the graph with respect to applying the rules of translation given in this table here. So what is translation? It is all about moving the graph either vertically or horizontally. So moving the graph. Now suppose you have a constant, so constant c here is greater than 0. Then if let's say you do some changes, so for example by adding the constant c to fx, you are making some changes here. Similarly, if you subtract the value of c from fx, then you are making some changes to fx. So what is fx? Well, fx is, when you talk about fx, it should come to your mind the idea of vertical axis, because fx is usually, the vertical axis is usually labeled by fx, and then x is the horizontal axis. So when you do a change with respect to fx, you will expect the graph to be moving vertically. Okay, so you are talking about moving the graph vertically because you are making changes to fx. Fx is the vertical axis. So now if you add a constant c to fx, that means the graph will be shifted c units up. So that is the vertical movement we are talking about. And if you subtract c from fx, that means the graph will be shifted c units down. Alright, next, if you talk about making changes with respect to x, because here now you are adding a constant to x. X is the value with regards to the horizontal axis, yeah? So when you make some changes to x, either by adding or subtracting a constant, that means you are making some sort of changes in terms of horizontal movement. So the graph will be moving horizontally, and in this case, if you add a constant c to x, then the graph will be shifted c units left, and if you subtract a constant from x, then the graph will be shifted c units right. So in this part, you are moving the graph horizontally because you are actually making the changes directly to x here. So x plus c, x minus c. So the changes are in x. For this one, the changes are with regards to fx, which is y. So fx is the vertical axis, so you expect the movement to be a vertical movement, either up or down. So can you imagine how will the graph of this one will be shifted if we have this expression here? So the expression given by this one can be actually written as y is equal to fx minus 3 plus 5. And in this circumstance, I'm sure you can see that first of all, we will have y is equal to fx. Okay, we are going to refer to this part first. Y is equal to fx will be shifted. Now that negative 3 is a change inflicted to x. Okay, so there is a change with respect to x. So we are talking about the horizontal movement here. So y equals to fx will be shifted 3 units to the right. And then we have plus 5 here, and then it will be shifted. So this one is a change with respect to y, so it will be shifted 5 units up. Okay. Alright, let's look at some example of sketching the graph this is an example of having y equal to x squared. So in this case, this is y and this is your fx. So let's see what's going on in the first question here. So we have y is equal to x squared minus 1, which can be written as fx minus 1. So you can see that the change here, okay, there is a change with respect to y. So y is going, so 1 is going to be subtracted from y. So you can think of it as having a vertical movement, okay, because fx is a vertical axis, corresponds to the vertical axis. Therefore, there will be a change of moving the graph 1 unit down. So negative 1, that means you're moving the graph 1 unit down. So for example, if you have this point here, 0, 0, it will be moved to 1 unit down. It will be at this point. And for example, at this point, 1, it will go to this point here. Okay. And this one, so it will go 1 unit down. So basically, for example, at point 4, so it will go 1 unit down, so it will be over here. Okay. Okay, something like that, I think. So next, what we can do is we can just connect the dots in this, make sure the curve is smooth. Okay. So something like that. I don't really trust my hand to draw a smooth curve on this tablet, but let's try. Doesn't look good, but well, at least you get the idea. Boleh lah, okay. I think that should be, you know, sufficient, as long as you get the idea, really. Okay, next. So how about this one? How about y is equal to x minus 1 squared? So in this case, you can see that the change is done for x. Okay, so we can write down this is actually is equal to fx minus 1. Okay, where fx is equal to x squared. So you are having a change where the graph in this case is going to be shifted horizontally, because the change here is done with respect to x. Okay, 1 is subtracted from x. This for question A, 1 is subtracted from y. So therefore the graph is shifted down. So this is the vertical movement. So vertical movement. For this one, the changes is done with respect to x, and x is about horizontal axis, and therefore the movement is going to be a horizontal movement where the graph is going to be shifted 1 unit to the right. So 1 unit to the right. So for example, at this point here, it will be shifted to this point. Okay. For example, this one will be shifted to this point. So it goes in this direction. Okay. So 1 unit, this one will go over here. Okay. So basically, this is what going to happen. What is happening here is that for this one, it will go to this point. Okay, I'm just trying to get all the points here so that I can connect the dots, so that you can see how it looks like. So roughly it's going to look like this, I guess. And there will be the intercept here on y-axis. So maybe it looks like this, more or less. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to try and get a smooth curve out of this. There you go. Whew. This is really challenging. Something like that. Okay, so this one is y is equal to x minus 1 and square it. Okay, right. Now for the last question, I'm going to leave it to you guys to do it on your own. So basically what you have here is you will have y is equal to x plus 1 squared plus 2. So first you are going to shift the graph 1 unit to the right, sorry, to the left, and then you are going to shift the graph 2 units up. Okay, so I trust that you can do it on your own, and all the best. Thank you for watching.